Summer Wells is a missing 5-year-old girl that is currently missing from her home in Rogersville, Tennessee. This is an extremely fast-moving case. It's got everybody quite perplexed as to what's happened to the little girl. Quite a lot of people, including myself, think the parents have got a lot of guilty knowledge and that they perhaps do know what's really happened to Summer. So much has happened within the last couple of weeks since I filmed my initial video on this case. I've learnt so much more. The fact they live in a very remote location makes the abduction theory extremely unlikely. And in the last week, a photo of Summer has emerged that appears to be the last ever photo. It's not really a photo, it was a video taken of Summer, but a screenshot or a screen grab has been taken, and it appears to be the last ever photo taken of Summer the day she disappears. What's extremely disturbing is a lot of people on the internet are speculating that in the photo, Summer Wells is dead. So I've learnt a lot since filming my original video on the case of missing 5-year-old Summer Wells, and the most interesting part for me, amongst many things that I've learnt in the last week about this case, is the fact that Summer Wells' family live on this great big site. They've got quite a lot of acres on the land that they live in. They've clearly, if you look at the photo here, not got any neighbours nearby. If an abductor had driven up to the house, Summer's mum, and her grandma were outside apparently doing some gardening, they would have heard them. Someone wouldn't have been able to run away very easily holding Summer. So the abduction theory, now that I've looked at the house, looked at aerial shots of it, just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up that someone would be missing for 2 minutes and then be abducted from the house. Why would a parent jump to the conclusion that their child is missing? Wouldn't they think, especially as they claimed that Summer was such an outdoor loving little girl, wouldn't they have thought that she'd gone into the woods or is somewhere within the local vicinity? I can't get my head around why you'd immediately jump to the conclusion of abduction. Doesn't make any sense, especially if you didn't hear or see anything, especially if Summer didn't scream or alert to the fact that someone was trying to hurt her or take her away, and the fact that her brothers were meant to be in the house watching telly or on the internet. You would have thought they would have heard something. So the abduction theory for me is not plausible, and I just don't buy it. So I've learnt a lot about this case in the last week, and I will be doing another main video updating you all on what I've learnt, but I am pretty certain now that Don Wells, Summer's father, was at work when she apparently goes missing. So she was in her mother's care when she goes missing. What I wonder now, after watching the parents' media interview, is did the mother tell the father what had really happened? Perhaps, just perhaps, that Summer had died from some sort of accident, and he's aware of that, because the fact that the pair of them constantly refer to their daughter in the past tense has not sat well with me since I watched the interview. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. You might do it once by mistake, but you wouldn't continually refer to someone in the past tense, especially not when they've only been missing a week or two. And that was roughly the time frame of how long Summer had been missing when they gave the interview. None of that adds up, and all the past tense references I've found extremely disturbing. So there's a lot about the story from Summer's mum, Candus, that doesn't add up. It really doesn't. She claims that her and her mother and Summer were gardening, and that they'd recently come back from a trip to get a prescription for her mother, and that they'd been swimming in the creek while waiting for the prescription to be ready at the pharmacy. And not only that, what's also come to light recently is that the grandmother of Summer was meant to have had knee surgery that day. Well, I know someone that's had knee surgery. I know 2 people that have had knee surgery, in fact, and they certainly weren't up for doing any gardening so soon after knee surgery. Even if you go in for day surgery, most people aren't up for gardening and activities like that after having had surgery. So the planting flowers and doing the garden story isn't adding up to me now, and everything about what went on that day is really weird. The photo that I'm going to share with you, or the screen grab from a video, is about to come up, and I'm just going to say it is a bit shocking and a bit disturbing. So the photos that I'm going to share of Summer are taken from a video filmed by her grandmother on the drive back from the pharmacy, her operation, and the time during waiting for the prescription that Summer goes swimming in a creek nearby where she lives. There is a young boy, I believe, with them, a 15-year-old lad, and he goes swimming with Summer as well. He's also there that day. And Candus claims that she took the young boy home, and then her and her mother and Summer drive home. It looks as though they'd been to the local store or shop to buy milk, and there are quite big cartons of milk in the back of the car or whatever vehicle Candus, Summer's mum, is driving. And Summer is seen in this video taken by a grandmother propped up asleep against the milk bottles. As soon as I saw it, I thought it was really weird. I don't like the cold and I feel the cold quite a lot, but as a young child or an adult, I certainly wouldn't sleep lying against milk bottles. So that really doesn't add up for me, and that makes that photo even more bizarre. So I will be sharing the photos, but I just want to give you a bit of background as to how they were taken. The grandmother is filming, and in the film you see her pan around to Candus, and she films Candus driving. She then, I'm not sure if it's mistaken or not, but she then films in the back of the car, and you can see Summer propped up against the milk bottles. Well, what is weird is Summer doesn't really look asleep. To me, she looks dead. I know it's not very nice, but that is my opinion, guys. Sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody, but why would you be asleep against milk bottles that are cold? And could you be potentially putting a dead body of somebody against the milk bottles to try and slow down the decomposition of the body, to stop any horrible smells? I know that's an awful thing to say, but I have been thinking it and it's really disturbing me. I am going to share the photos for you guys, and there are some other things in the photos that can be seen. It does look as though Summer's got bruising on the side of her head, by the side of one of her eyes. Her lips do look as though they're turning in a funny colour, and all of them things makes me wonder, had Summer had a tragic accident at the creek, and perhaps the young lad that was there with the grandmother and the mother was led to believe she'd been knocked out unconscious, they were taking her home, when really she died. I know that sounds a bit unplausible, but I'm wondering if it could be true. There's so much going on with this case. It's in the press so much at the moment, and there's so much to learn about it, but I just can't get my head around what really happened to Summer. I'm starting to wonder if the dad isn't involved, but just maybe knows what happened, and perhaps she came to some harm or had a tragic accident whilst in her mother and her grandmother's care. Or was it that the grandmother was having her operation and it's just Candus, this 15-year-old boy, and Summer, and that's when the accident occurs? I'm not sure. None of it's really adding up for me. Nothing that the parents have said to me seems truthful so far from the more than one press interview that I've seen them do. None of it's adding up. The whole situation stinks, and I hope I'm wrong about what's happened to Summer, but I do believe the little girl may already be deceased. I really hope I'm wrong, and I'm praying that Summer Wells is going to be found safe and well. Okay, so this is the photo or the screen grab that I'm referring to. Now, the first thing I thought was that, well, first of all, the milk is weird. That must be cold on her head. How can she be asleep next to a bottle of cold milk? I also thought that she looks propped up against the milk, and if the milk wasn't there, she perhaps wouldn't be able to sit upright, perhaps, just perhaps, because she might be deceased. I know it's not nice, guys, but it is what I'm wondering. What's also weird is the seatbelt. If you look at it, it doesn't seem to be across her body at the top. You can see it above her coat. It looks as though that part of the seatbelt, the bit that goes across your body, not round your waist, is within the coat, which seems a bit weird. I also feel that her hand looks, and her arm on her left arm and her left hand looks sort of positioned a bit abnormally. Now, she could be asleep and I could be completely wrong, but I've been watching quite a few videos from other YouTubers about this photo or this screen grab from this video, and it just doesn't look good. It does look as though there's bruising, which I'm going to highlight in the next photo that I share with you guys, but I hope I'm wrong. It does look as though there's bruising around Summer's eyes. Her lips look an odd colour to me, and it just looks like a really unnatural photo, and I do wonder why the grandmother was filming, if it really was that in this tragic screen grab from a video, Summer was dead. So this is where I want to highlight to you guys what looks like two small bruises around Summer's eyes. On the side of her left eye, to the left-hand side of her eye, there looks like there's a bruise. And on the side of her right eye, on the inner part of her eye, near between the side of her eye and her nose, there also looks like there's another bruise. Her lips do look like they're quite an odd colour. I know that they haven't really gone blue, but it's a difficult one. They are a bit of a strange colour. They don't look like a natural colour. Her skin colouring also doesn't look great. There also looks like there could be another bruise, which I've not highlighted here because it's quite close to the other one. But if you look above where her left eye is, where there's the bruise by the left part of her eye, not near the nose on the other side, if you go above that to where her hairline is on the left side of her head, there looks like there's another bruise, and that bruise looks even bigger than the other one, so I think there are actually three. Now, as always, guys, I like to caveat this that I don't mean anyone any harm. I could be completely wrong with my thoughts and views, but if you look again, it does look as though there are three potential bruises on the little girl's face. She doesn't really look very naturally positioned. It does look as though she's been propped against the milk, and if that milk is cold, which maybe it's not, maybe it's been in the car for hours and maybe it's rubbish, but it doesn't look like rubbish. And also, if it wasn't full of liquid, in my opinion, it wouldn't stay propped up like that. It would most likely fall over. So I do believe that there's definitely milk in that bottle, and I just can't understand how anyone, any age, anywhere, could sleep next to a cold bottle of milk. So I just keep over analysing this picture and just wondering, could it be that she's not sleeping? I really hope she is sleeping and that we're all wrong here, but there's so much about this case that's not adding up. Like I said, I am going to do another video on this where I do appear in the video, but I thought it would be more easy to be able to show you the photos and me talk over them. So I hope you don't mind the way I've done this video, guys, but this case is so interesting but so sad at the same time. I really hope her family haven't harmed Summer. I really hope she's not been abducted. I really hope, if worst case she was abducted and we're all wrong and the parents aren't involved, that she's not come to any harm. But this is not a good situation, and I really can't see there being a good outcome. So going back to these photos, guys, I am going to share a video clip with you shortly of Summer swimming in the creek with this 15-year-old boy, who I'd prefer not to name, especially due to his age. He may have nothing to do with Summer's disappearance, so there's no need to name him, but he is in this video of her swimming. I'm then going to share the clip of the grandmother filming in the car with Candus and Summer on the way home from getting the prescription, and the grandmother having her knee surgery and the swimming in the creek. And this is where this screen grab is taken from, the grandmother's video, and I just want to share those clips with you just to give you a bit more background as to Summer's last day, the last day that anyone saw her before she mysteriously disappeared. So I just want to share one more last look at the photo for you, or the screen grab, before I share the videos at the end here. And this is a bit of a better photo because it's taken from a slightly farther away angle so that you can see more of Summer's body. But it definitely looks to me like she's propped up against that milk. And I just can't understand, like I said before, and sorry to say it again, but how can you sleep against a cold bottle of milk? If indeed the milk was cold. It may not have been, but I do think there's liquid in the bottle or it wouldn't stay upright. So as always, guys, I'd love you to share your thoughts and views. Please put your comments below. Please let me know what you think's happened to Summer, because as always, I'd love to know your thoughts and views on this very tragic case. So I'm going to share with you, after this last photo of Summer, the videos of her swimming in the creek on the last day that she is known to have been alive or seen by anyone before she mysteriously disappears. And it really is such a mysterious disappearance. It's really got me perplexed as to what's happened. So after I've shared these videos with you guys, that will be the end of the video. But as I've said before, please share your comments. Please like the video if you've enjoyed watching it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And as always, like I said, I'd love to know your comments on this case, because that's what I do these videos for. I love having a little community here on my YouTube channel. I love discussing the cases with you. I love to know your thoughts and views. I know they're not always going to be the same as mine. That makes it even more interesting to discuss the case with you in a way, because often people suggest things that I haven't thought. The parents could have slipped up on constantly referring to Summer in a past tense, but in my opinion, you don't refer to someone in a past tense that many times over and over again in a media interview when the missing person, especially, is only 5 years old and has only been missing a matter of days. To accept that they're gone already, and for her father to already be thinking that she's dead, really doesn't add up to me. There are so many red flags with her parents. The whole situation's not adding up. I've learnt so much about what's gone on with this case in the last week. Like I said, I will be doing another video that I feature in on the case in the next few days, and I'll get that out for you as soon as I can. I want to learn as much more as I can about the case so I can give you a full update. But I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. I know if Summer is deceased in the photos, it's extremely upsetting. I hope I haven't offended anyone by sharing it. She may be asleep and I could be wrong. But for me, the photo isn't looking good. I'm not sure why the grandmother took the video. You know, was it to sort of cover up what had happened, to make it look like she was sleeping? And surely if she was dead, how did the 15-year-old boy not know? And does he know what happened? I hope the police have also spoken to him, considering he was one of the last people to see Summer alive. By that, I'm not implicating him. I obviously don't know if he has any involvement, but obviously he might be able to shed some light on what happened to Summer. So I hope and I pray that the police are looking into everybody here, investigating thoroughly. There are abuse claims that have come out about Don Wells and about Candus. There are lots of shady things about their past, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're involved in their daughter's disappearance. Just because they have criminal records, we shouldn't judge them and think that they are involved. The reason that I have judged them and think that they have guilty knowledge, not necessarily saying they killed her, I think they have guilty knowledge of what happened to her, but it could be that it was a tragic accident, not a murder, and it's been covered up by the parents. As always, guys, I could be wrong. I'm not always spot on with these cases, but those are my thoughts and views. But please share your thoughts and views, guys. Let me know what you think. Pop your comments below. So this is the footage that was filmed of Summer by her mother, Candus, on the last day that she was known to be alive. Hopefully she is still alive. It's quite chilling footage to watch her swimming in the creek, because it does make you wonder, is this the last ever video that's ever going to be filmed of Summer? If she is dead, that would be true. I hope she's not dead and that I'm wrong on my thoughts on this case. But it's really sad to watch her swimming in the creek, having so much fun. It makes you wonder what really happened to the little girl. I'm not too sure of the involvement of this young lad. The 15-year-old boy, I believe, was a neighbour's friend. I'm not going to name the lad. I've tried my best not to show his face in this footage because I don't think it's fair. He deserves his own privacy, but I do believe this clip has already been widely shared across the internet. But this is Summer Wells swimming in a creek near her home in Tennessee in America. And it's the last day that anyone ever saw her. Not long after this, she disappears. She vanishes off the face of the earth. As we all know, her parents claim she's been abducted. That theory does not sit well with me. It doesn't make any sense. What seems more plausible is she could have had an accident at this creek. Now we all know she was swimming at this creek. Could it have been a tragic accident? So I wanted to show you the clip, and this is it, that was filmed by apparently Summer's grandmother. I wanted to show you it with no sound. It's just a short clip filmed in their car.
Still got her arm up? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. But still got her arm up? No.
So as you can see, guys, it is only a short video. I am going to share that clip again with the audio turned on so you can hear them speaking again. But it does make me wonder, was it filmed by mistake? But then it seemed to be that if it is the grandmother in the car, she was filming it to show that Summer's arm was up. Had she hurt her arm? Is there something going on with her arm? Had she injured her arm? Is she really alive in this photo? Is she really dead? I really don't know what to make of this. Please leave your comments below, guys, because I'd love to discuss this case with you. But I'm just going to share it again now with you, just so you can hear the sound again. Here it is.
Still got her arm up? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. But still got her arm up? No. Still got her arm up? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to catch.
So God, this really is a tragic case. I can't believe that the little girl, little precious Summer Wells, has not been found after 3 weeks. I'm filming this video on a Tuesday, and it's 3 weeks ago tonight that little Summer Wells has gone missing. It breaks my heart that she hasn't been found. I hope this case doesn't turn into another Madeleine McCann style case where the little child is not found. You know, over 10 years pass and we've still got no clue. I hope that isn't the case. I know it's awful, and if Summer's dead, I really hope she can be found soon and given the funeral that she so deserves. I hope she's not dead, and we're all wrong about the parents and all these red flags that are flying for the parents. Maybe we've all been mistaken. Sadly, I don't think we have, but I really hope for Summer Wells' sake that she is found safe and well. The search effort has been amazing that the police out in Tennessee in America have been doing. Where she lives in Tennessee, there's quite a lot of rough terrain, so it's obviously very difficult to search. They can't search for too long hours at a time because they get very tired. It's quite dangerous searching. They obviously can't search in the dark. So I do wonder here, guys, when are we really going to find out what happened to Summer Wells? I hope we find out soon. I hope the news is good news. And like I said, she's found safe and well. But I really think here that the entire family need to be looked into. Everyone needs to be interviewed again. And the police need to keep looking for Summer and investigating this tragic case. Well, as I said before, guys, I will be making another video that I feature in to give you as many updates as I possibly can in this case. So many things have been said. So much details have come out about the family's criminal past, abuse claims, the missing sister, which is so bizarre, but again may have no connection to Summer's disappearance, but the fact that her auntie went missing under very strange circumstances a number of years ago raises red flags. It's very unusual for two members of the same family, whether an auntie and a niece, to go missing, whether a brother and a sister. It's quite unusual for two, so that always sort of sits not well with me. Again, it could just be a coincidence. There's so much to this case, I can sit and talk to you for hours about it, but as I said, I'm going to keep researching it and get another video out for you guys soon that I do feature in. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I really hope that Summer in the photos that I've shared isn't deceased. I hope we're mistaken. I really hope she's found safe and well. She's in my mind all the time at the moment, as I'm sure she is all of yours. She's only 5 years old, so to be missing for 3 weeks, it does make you wonder how she could possibly be fending for herself. But if she has been abducted, let's hope it's by someone that's not treating her badly, and let's hope if she is still alive, she can be found safe and well as soon as possible. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate your support. I've really enjoyed all your interesting comments so far on this case. So please pop your comments below. Please like the video if you have. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And as always, guys, I hope you're looking after yourself and keeping well. And I will be back very soon with another true crime video. Bye for now.